What's up, everybody? This is Brody, Charlie, and Tudong Dylan from the Talk Punch YouTube channel and podcast, where we talk movies, do lists, rankings, and more, and you are about to listen to the Keeping Up with the Cardassians podcast. Enjoy!
You guys aren't dancing enough. Why are you so quiet, Nick? You've usually talked over the
Joe,
intro.
I'm really happy he's not singing right now.
Oh,
So, dang it!
Welcome to Keeping Up with the Cardassians. This is Nick.
This is Rob.
This is Joe.
Welcome to your favorite podcast in the whole universe that talks about things like movies, TV shows, comics, video games,
Music.
and a lot more. But right now, our particular focus is Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 dun.
We are in season 1 of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Last week we began
When
with
does the show
our
get canceled?
review of Encounter at Farpoint.
Amazingly enough, it didn't.
Today we discuss the 2 episodes, The Naked Now
Yes.
and Code of Honor. So we'll discuss those episodes. We'll hop into that the second half of the episode. So you'll have to wait to find out if we find, like, if they recover from Encounter at Farpoint. As you know, we all gave the pilot extremely low ratings. We were very unhappy with it. So maybe
I don't think we were unfair, though.
you thought they were unfair.
No, I don't think we were unfair.
Oh, I don't think we were unfair at all. So, I mean, we'll see if it comes around. But you'll have to wait till the second half. But as you know, the first half, we like to catch up on all sorts of things and what's going on. And we were actually reviewing some of the news before we started. And one of the major news articles is related to Star Trek that we want to talk about. And they've officially greenlit a 4th Star Trek movie from the Kelvinverse. Is it Star Trek 4, a sequel to Star Trek 3? No. Or what do they call that? Beyond? Star Trek Beyond? Is it a sequel to Star Trek Beyond? No. It's what we've all craved.
Wait, is it the Tarantino one?
No. No. Is it a Picard movie? I'm not craving that. No. Is it a Discovery movie? No.
You guys wouldn't want a Picard movie?
No, I don't want a Picard
Is it,
movie.
without spoilers, is it because they did so well with the last season of Picard
Yes.
you don't want to...
I want them to see that legacy that has been flirted out there, where it could be centered around Jerry Ryan's 7 of 9, but they could bring in other characters and I don't know, DS9 characters.
Was it us that floated this, or did we hear this on the internet and then we just discussed it about something called like Star Trek Starfleet or something like that, where they focus on the Academy?
That is still happening.
That is
a
happening.
TV show on Peacock.
That's
No,
happening?
Paramount.
Yeah, it's going to take place in the 31st century,
When they
and I'm sure it'll be amazing.
I remember talking about
Yeah,
this.
there you go. I thought that would help
Okay.
you.
Yeah. So, anyways, this movie that has been greenlit is a prequel in the Kelvinverse.
Yes, this is going to be Star Trek Bed Bath.
And
I didn't hear that it was going to be in the Kelvin universe.
Kelvinverse.
That makes me actually feel a little bit better.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because they already have stuff sort of set, and they already have things established in the Kelvinverse. So,
Well, I would argue actually it's because they don't have things established more in the Kelvinverse. Because
no, but there are characters. There are 3 films that take place there.
yes.
So there's already a familiarity with the Kelvinverse. It's not like, okay, well, now it's something completely brand new, and we're doing a prequel for something we don't know of yet.
Right. My question is, Trekkies will understand it. The common fan will not understand it. This is what I think. This is the same issue that Marvel movies are having, DC movies, all these shared universe movies are having. Go ahead, Rob.
Wait a second. So it says in the description that an origin story
Nailed it.
that takes place decades before 2009 Star Trek movie. So it's going to be by default in the Prime universe as well.
No.
Because Star Trek 2009's movie started off with a change in everything, which
And
created...
flash forward to 30 years. So I think they're going to start right after his attack.
That's not the way I read it, man.
Oh, maybe not.
That's not the way I think it's going to be like set up either between or even before possibly Enterprise, right?
Could be.
because it says that about the beginning of the Starfleet, the beginning of the Federation. So it'd be after Enterprise still.
So the Romulan War?
Prequels, I'm just done with prequels. I'm just done.
Yeah. So where were we at before? We were talking about mentioning that.
Before Rob rudely interrupted you.
No. That was good information. I just...
Take that.
Take that.
So what I was saying was this whole idea of shared universes is that you have an entire fan base built in, excited to see it, which is what Marvel did with Endgame and all these things. But then after a while, people get bored and they start dropping out. Star Trek, people have gotten bored and dropped out. They're not going to know what universe you're in or what universe you're not in. Just stop. Just stop. Make an original Star Trek movie. Make something new.
Or
Can they, though?
That's the question. Well, because they haven't before, right? When they've made Star Trek movies,
Wasn't Discovery new?
yes, but the movies were based off of TV shows, right? So you had the Star Trek cast came back for the movies, and people were already familiar with them. The Next Generation cast, people were familiar with them.
Right.
The only other movies they've done are the reboot movies, but they still used characters people were familiar with. They haven't created brand new characters for a movie for Star Trek.
correct.
That's never going to happen.
I don't think for a movie it will happen. I think you're right.
I don't think that would ever happen.
I think it could.
I think it's a possibility.
I
But
think it should.
I think that's a Star Wars thing rather than Star Trek.
But haven't
Star
people-
Wars has had success doing that, introducing brand new characters through film and building on them that way.
and because I'm Star Wars ignorant, because I don't really enjoy the property, how do people like the new characters?
They don't.
That's what I was thinking. I heard that they
But
did.
it's more because Disney's whole, there's the whole argument over woke and all that. I don't really think that's necessarily it. I just think the characters weren't really great.
I'll say, how were the characters though? I don't care about what they are.
They had good promise, but they didn't follow through on the promise of some of the characters.
Okay, what didn't they follow through?
Like
on?
Finn was a really cool Star Wars character. He was the stormtrooper who displayed some abilities with the Force, but they
really?
never followed up with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd like to know more about his backstory.
He became a background character.
But his background, his whole arc is very interesting because I would be interested in him as a stormtrooper, and then we see his descent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd be very interested in seeing what developed being Force attuned.
Yes, exactly. And
So we have the meat, the 3 movie run we have. I would like to see either before or after. Like before, what led him to be a stormtrooper? Because obviously the brainwashing
kidnapped.
it didn't set in.
Yeah. Well, they were kidnapped as
Right.
children and put in.
But I would like to see more of.
I thought they were clones.
They were clones,
They were
but then they
clones.
remove them as clones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, they never follow up. They never develop anything with these interesting little pieces of story that they've created, and they just kind of toss away.
Yeah, like for instance, Finn was interesting. Poe was this interesting character that they decided to just turn into basically an incompetent fool, all in the name of being like, men don't always know everything. Women can know stuff too, which is true. But they kind of slapped you over the
You
head
don't have to take
too
one
heavily
away
with it.
from one to create the other.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You already have strong female characters in it. You don't have to denigrate the strong male characters in order to uplift the strong female characters. They can stand on their own. For me, actually, I find that insulting that you can say she can only be a strong female character if the male character is a buffoon. Right? Like, I don't, that doesn't compute for me. I think that weakens a strong female character.
Like the original story arc, and even the prequels had strong female characters.
Super strong. Princess Leia was like,
Princess Leia
she was a princess, basically in name only, because she was kicking ass and chewing bubblegum the whole time.
But
She was
even
amazing. Yeah.
even Padme and Queen Amidala, those are strong female characters, but they didn't have. They also had just strong characters. Didn't
Yes.
matter who was playing them. They had well developed characters,
Yes.
except for Jar Jar Binks,
That
which
guy
I thought
was terrible.
was awful. It was stupid.
Wasn't he created to try to sell more toys?
Yeah.
Probably.
pretty
With
much,
that
yeah.
same kind of vein from the first? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you think of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was a really well-developed character over the prequels, and into it was great. So anyways, all of this is to say, Star Wars has had some success at doing that. They've had some failures as well. Star Trek has never tried it. And I think they should try it because I think they have more to gain from creating new characters than they have to lose.
I'd be interested, but I don't see them doing it. I think that Paramount believes you have to rely on those characters. Why do you think on Strange New Worlds they're bringing Kirk in? I don't think it's necessary for story. I think they think that it'll bring more people to it.
If there's anything we've learned,
yeah,
it is that Paramount is unwilling to take risks with the Star Trek franchise. And
when they have, though, it's kind of gone astray. Like,
but
Discovery is kind of a risk.
Kind of, but not really.
They tried to change what Star Trek was. And actually, if you watch it over the course of the 5 seasons, it's slowly reverting back to what Star Trek, like the original tone of Star Trek. The first couple seasons are very vastly different. You wouldn't even really associate them with Trek.
I would agree.
And then the later seasons, especially after they time travel to the 31st century, is more Trek than anything. Still not great Trek at all. I think the problem is the characters are not great characters. They are not developed well.
I would agree. I think developed well is a good way to say it.
They have good meats on them. They have solid bones, but they didn't put the meat to it. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. All the characters are solid. I think the problem is the weakest character is your lead, and Burnham is weak, as a lead character. Tilly's incredible. I love Tilly. I love Reno. I love these characters.
Reno is fantastic.
I love the Doctor
Stamets?
Stamets.
Okay.
Stamets
Dr.
is
Stamos?
the engineer.
Oh, my bad.
What's his boyfriend's name? His husband's name? I can't remember.
Did they get married in the show? Spoiler.
I think no, they're dating. They're dating in the show, then they break up, and then I think they get married.
They get back together. I know that.
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but he's a good character as well. So there's some really solid characters. They just don't really develop them well. All this is to say, I really want them to create new characters and develop them well.
Culber was the Doctor.
Culber. Stamets is the engineer. Yep. Tilly, you have.
Mary Wiseman has some lettuce on her.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Very red hair.
And just a lot of it.
Yeah.
Big and wild and
a lot of hair. A lot of hair.
Fun.
Yeah, a lot of hair. So I still don't want a prequel though.
I don't want a prequel because you have potential material in front of you. Like even with, let's pick on Legacy. You could do more new characters in that and run with it.
You could probably make a movie out of Legacy.
Yeah, I mean, look at even though she's a LaForge, the character that they brought in, the 2 daughters.
Yeah,
they were great.
They were really well. You could easily make a Legacy movie instead of a TV show. Now I'm thinking about it because you do rely on characters from the past that you can bring in. Yeah. You can bring in a Picard for a minute. You can bring in some of the other ones. You can bring in Voyager characters. You can bring in Deep Space Nine characters.
No, they won't. Come on.
I know.
Real funny, Nick.
Yeah,
right. They're not going to do that.
Nick's got jokes today.
If there is one Deep Space Nine character to appear, who is the one you think has to appear?
Worf.
Well, that's easy. He's already appeared, man.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
Has to appear?
Quark.
If they're going to have one DS9 character, what is the one that has to be the character? Only one.
I think the easiest would be Quark.
Quark would be the easiest.
Quark or Kira.
I think Kira, to me, is almost a has to be.
I think Kira is the lead of that show in hindsight.
But I think Garrick would be a nice throw-in.
And it would be easier to pull him off with the makeup, too. To make him not look so much older.
Yep. And it'd be easy because you're trying to get information or whatever. So Quark or Garrick are really...
Goes to Cardassian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge opportunity there.
Yeah.
Worf reaches out
because
to
generally they don't... The races, the alien races that they represent aren't going to be super integral to the plot. So if you need to bring them in for like an act or two...
Yeah.
If there needs to be some sort of business dealings with, like the Cardassians or
any race, really.
the Ferengi or whatever, they could easily represent that. And
let's say you have a new alien race. Let's make up a name that we're going to call them the Joes. This is a new alien race.
Joe Gars.
And all you have to do to really bring in a Garrick or a Quark. All you got to do is, we know that they're kind of have shady dealings, so and they've dealt with like people out of the Federation or people out of deep space. Let's see if Quark knows anything about it. Or we know that the Cardassians have been keeping an eye on them. Let's reach out to Cardassia Prime, and you got Garrick.
Yeah.
It's an easy patch.
Yeah, it could
but
be.
they've never done anything like that. So
They won't.
Easy patch.
They won't. I don't know. To me, I think Kira would be the character I would bring back.
I think that would be the best.
if you're looking for something,
Actually, it should be Cisco.
But he's not coming back.
he's not. Gonna,
Avery Brooks is not coming
I'm just saying, Cisco.
back. It should be.
Cisco.
So when I say what character needs to come back, it's more like realistically what character's coming back. Because to me, it should be Cisco.
Absolutely.
Avery Brooks is done with Trek, though. He says
if there was one thing I just
think
hated
Avery
about
Brooks
that series is just him leaving.
Yeah, it really
It
really gnaws at me.
It threw a wrench into the whole like legacy of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Show.
Did I text you guys because I was watching? It was on TV the other day.
Yeah, you said it's so good.
It really holds up. It's a really good. But yeah, him leaving
The finale?
at that point still doesn't. Especially because again, this goes back to what I said all along. Time isn't linear, right? It's so him being like, "Well, I don't know when I'll see you." Like, you don't even have to be that. Like, you don't even have to go see her because you could literally reappear in the same exact moment.
Yeah.
This is where I'm pro AI.
Yeah, just for
Just
this
AI
one.
is ass in there.
Yeah, the one thing. You know what, Joe? You have sold me. The one thing I am pro AI on is bringing character
back Captain Sisko immediately to raise his child and not abandon his son.
Yes,
stupid
and wife, and wife, and other son,
Cisco.
Cisco.
Is
that a Tesla jacket?
It is, man.
God, you're a douche.
No.
Oh my God, it is.
No.
I didn't even realize that.
I got it for free from Tesla.
Of course you did. You paid with your, Nick. You paid with your soul, buddy.
No. So hear me out.
I don't want to hear you.
Someone we know, like said, "Hey, do you have a referral code for Tesla?" Tesla gives out referral codes because if you give the referral code to someone else, they get 6 months of auto driving.
Well, it's kind of like the old way of getting Gmail.
So,
Do you remember when Gmail launched? You could only get it by referral code.
I didn't remember that at all.
So
Wow.
I didn't realize I got points as well, and I looked online, and these points can buy a lot of stuff. So I have like a Tesla hoodie, I have a Tesla coat, I have
Jesus Christ,
such a douche,
and it's a super comfortable coat too. It's super comfortable.
It was 734-494-0980.
I paid $0.
A douche wearing it.
I paid $0
for wearing it.
No, I'm not a douche for wearing it. I paid $0
You
for it.
You paid with your soul.
I don't care.
You sold your soul to
Would you
Elon
wear a
Musk.
Ford jacket?
No.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
You wear your company's clothes all the time.
They pay me.
Yeah, they do pay him.
Tesla gave me free stuff.
You paid Tesla.
I get paid.
I've paid them for the car, but I did not pay them for my jacket. This is
So you
free.
stole it.
No. They gave it to me.
Oh.
I told them I
If
wanted
you said you stole that from Elon Musk, I'd have way more respect for you.
I stole it from Elon Musk.
Nice. Respect.
Something nice.
Thank you.
That changes the whole
All right,
narrative.
So are we moving on from Tesla and Star Trek?
Yes.
All right. What's next, gentlemen?
Did you see the Argyle trailer?
I did not.
You did not? It's a Henry Cavill joint.
Yeah.
Nick, what'd you think?
I am super pumped to see it.
Maybe I did see this.
So Argyle, if you didn't catch it, it's about this spy, this super incredible spy or whatever who does incredible things, and Henry Cavill's a spy.
I did see
Turns
this.
out it's a book that a lady's writing, and so he's like the character in the book.
Yes.
But then it turns out everything she's writing about is actually happening in real life, so she gets kidnapped to figure out.
I did see this.
Yeah. I think it looks incredible, and I'm super excited
I
about
saw
it.
this to plug another podcast.
When you wrote your new book actually happened, did you kick the hornet's nest you didn't even know
Was it
existed?
I'm in some really
Spy
big
Hard?
trouble, Mom.
Spy Hard, yeah.
Yeah, they posted something.
So now you're experimenting
and
with drugs.
about a new. Yeah, I did see it. Yeah,
So
it's so it looks really good.
I'm very interested. That being said, again, the special effects are some of the worst green screen I've seen.
They still have time to fix.
Just in the trailer, I was watching going, oh my God.
There's still time to
that
fix.
is
And
terrible.
it's
and then
also-
Henry Cavill comes on your screen like, oh my gosh, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
And then a special effect happens and you're like, oh my God, this is terrible.
I didn't realize. So it's going to be released in theaters on February 2nd before releasing on Apple TV as well. And it's Matthew Vaughn directing, and Matthew Vaughn is an incredible director.
He does these kind of movies perfectly.
Oh yeah, he did the Kingsman, all the Kingsman movies, X-Men: Days of Future Past, First Class, Kick-Ass, Layer Cake.
Yep.
Great.
All the
director.
king's horses and all the king's men. he
Yeah,
did?
they couldn't put them back together again. So
Couldn't put those special effects back together.
They bet they're gonna need to.
I'm gonna give it a chance.
I'm going to give it a chance, but it might be distracting.
Have you guys seen the Kingsman movies?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
They're good.
They are fantastic.
they are. The first Kingsman movie is a better James Bond movie than some of James Bond movies have been, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The first one. Second one is a little bit of a step down, still a lot of fun. The prequel was solid.
I did not see the prequel.
A little weird.
Because, again, you threw a prequel out there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll wait to someone to tell me if it's any good.
Yeah, a little weird, but still worth seeing, I think.
On that same vein, and Henry Cavill, did you guys watch Man from U.N.C.L.E. with him?
No, I've not gotten around
It was
to
a
seeing it.
very... I watched it.
When I
and
go
was
on a-
so surprised by it. It was really enjoyable.
When I go on a cruise by myself, I'll probably watch it on the plane.
Oh, really? Okay, good call.
By yourself. Yeah, right. Rob, what are you going to watch in the plane ride for that cruise?
I'm going on one by myself. I'm going to watch Mariah Carey concert again.
When are you going on your cruise by yourself?
February 27th? Or March...
To be fair,
January 27th?
To be fair,
When are you going on yours by yourself?
January 26th.
Oh, so different dates. That's fair.
See?
To be fair, we're flying on different planes to get there.
Oh, that makes it so much better.
I leave later in the day. So we have to leave later in the day because Eli in the morning has a rehearsal thing. It got canceled, so I called the airline and I'm like, "Can we bump up our flights and leave earlier?" And they're like, "Yeah, I can easily bump your wife and your sons up." So we had to book them kind of separately because of airline points. And they're like, "Yeah, your wife and your sons, I can move up for free. It doesn't cost any money. Yours to bump yours up will be $360."
Why? Is it the Tesla jacket?
Because mine, I booked the hotel with it through Delta Travel, so my flight and the hotel were booked with mine, and then Leslie and Eli's flights were booked with airline points. So it's like,
Did you book yours too, or did you save the $360?
we're just going to come later. So we're getting in at 7, and we could have gotten in at 1, but we're getting in at 7 instead.
All right.
And then the cruise leaves the next day. Rob's will have already left, though. He's going on a different cruise than me.
It's fine. My feelings aren't hurt.
Hey, did I get invited to the Lions game tonight?
Yeah.
Did someone say playoff football in Detroit?
You like how
I know.
shifted
I
gears
know.
there? So it is a playoff. It is a very special day here.
Guys, you're going to have to deal with us when you're listening to this just for a few moments.
We are
This may be the only enjoyment we have of this game.
Yes.
Since you're listening on Monday.
We are Metro Detroiters, and at 8 o'clock tonight, it's 1:40 when we're recording right now. 8 o'clock tonight is Lions football, and Joe is
Lions,
going to the
Rams.
game.
It's not just Lions. This is. I was talking to Rob
This
while
is
you
like
were
the
moving
playoff
you were
game.
moving your douchemobile.
Yeah.
I love that you have it. I love that you're the one that has a Tesla.
It's almost too easy.
I did make it easy.
You wore a Tesla jacket in here.
this
You kind of
is-
asked for it.
That I did not recognize that it was a Tesla
Did you, see
jacket.
me, did you see me at one point go,
I did, and then when you said that, I saw there's a T on the sleeve. There's a logo on the sleeve up
Is
there. Yeah, right.
Oh, right there. And then on here it says Tesla.
Oh,
oh my God.
but going back to the Lions game, like this, so the Lions are historically bad. They've been bad for a long time. You know, everybody knows all the ways that we've been horrible. One playoff win since 1957. Like we haven't had a home playoff
not
game
good.
in 30
It's not
over
good.
30 years.
Fun fact about that year. That was actually the year I got into football. That season.
57.
No, God. No, 91.
90, yeah.
Because I saw Barry Sanders for the first time, and my life was changed.
Forever. But there, in those last 30 years, there's been the same old Lions has been. Is same old Lions older than 30 years?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think that's last 20 years.
Okay.
SOL.
Yeah, I think it's
And
15, 20.
SOL, same old Lions. It's just like everything bad happens to us. We can't get it right. We hire the wrong people. We
The
draft
refs.
the wrong
The refs
players.
play for the
refs
Cowboys.
play for the these weird phantom calls. These corner book rules in the rule book.
We found out what a catch was, but we didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. If you watch football and you are watching and you say, "I wonder if he completed the process," or was that a catch?"
You're welcome.
Thank Calvin Johnson for that.
Yeah.
that was never even thought of before that. But it all comes out of this SOL, same old Lions.
Yep.
And that's what it's
does.
been until really last year. About halfway through when we started to
Biting kneecaps.
really started, but even before that, it was same old Lions. We
Right,
hired
because we started 1-8 or
1-6,
Yeah.
but we were 3-13-1 the year before.
Which we knew we were going to be bad that
Right.
year.
But then
But
you-
we started 0-10,
Yep.
right?
yeah, and then so you're like, okay, well,
0-10-1.
so then like halfway through, you're like, all right, is this guy even the next coach? Are we going to be looking for another
Oh
coach?
yeah, this last year at the middle of the season, we were calling for his head. A lot of fans were,
Yeah.
and he said, "Trust the process,
Trust the
And we're like, "No, we can't because we're the Lions."
Start
and,
1-6, you end 9-8. You just missed the playoffs. You beat
Should have made the playoffs.
Should have made the playoffs. Thanks again, Seahawks, scumbags.
And Rams
Yep.
actually.
This year, things are different. You beat the champs to start. Everything is looking up. We win the division for the first time in 30 years. Everything
And
is
a division that's surprisingly better than we thought it would be.
yeah, and everything
thought-
A
is
lot better than we thought it would
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
and everything is shaping up for same old Lions to be buried, right?
Well,
we're starting to check off these things that we, back-to-back winning seasons, check. Win the division, check.
Win a playoff game.
Host a playoff,
Host
right? Win your division, host a home playoff game. And lo and behold, who's the home playoff game against?
Yeah.
The guy that we traded to the Rams. We immediately traded Stafford to the Rams 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We get their cast off
As a throwaway
because his contract was just abysmal for
At the
them
time.
at the time.
And a first rounder.
And a first rounder. We get picks.
Two
We get a
first
quarterback. Stafford goes and wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah, we got
immediately.
Hutch out of that, right? He was one of our
Mm-hmm.
picks. No,
We had the
we
pick on our own.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was our 3-13
That was our-
and 3-13-1 pick.
That was our accomplishment on our own.
Who was our first round picks out of him?
JMO.
J-Mo.
And Penei Sewell.
No, Penny
No,
Sewell was
Penny
ours
Sewell
too.
before that.
Yeah, it was before that.
Was it Jack Campbell?
I think Jack Campbell was the other one. No, it was the other way around. It was Jameer
was it?
Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs. So
Jameer-
J-Mo
it's
and
this
Gibbs.
Yeah, okay, yeah. All right, J-Mo's verdict's still out
So-
on him, though.
All built up to this game. This is the game. This is the one game that will bury same old Lions forever. This will be, if you win this game, you win a playoff game, you win a home playoff game, you beat Stafford, you get every single monkey on your back off.
See, I like the narrative that you talked about like a month or two ago when you said, it would be a SOL thing that we could bury. Beat the Rams in week 1. Packers win tonight. We play them at home next week, and we beat them.
We wouldn't though.
Yeah, we would.
No, they play Frisco because they're the 7th seed.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
Here's what you can do. Here's the scenario. This would be if you really want to have, this would be the ultimate Lions season. They could burn down Ford Field after this season if it happens.
Burn it to the ground.
They could never play another game, and this would be the greatest season in the history of football. You beat Stafford, right? Round 1. You get your revenge against Dallas round 2. Well, no, because you can't do it.
Who
Never
would they
mind.
play in
Because
round 2?
we would play Dallas.
Let's say
or
the Packers won.
then we play Philly or Tampa Bay.
Ooh, frick.
I'm very okay with either of those teams.
Philly's
Philly's
great
trash.
right now.
Yeah, that's true.
They got,
Tampa Bay
oh,
only put
check it out. If we pay Philly, their defensive coordinator is Matt Patricia, which
Yes.
goes into
Yes.
your scenario.
Okay, so
That fits.
and then we
Matt Patricia was one of our old coaches.
Even
He ruined
Tampa
the-
Bay would work because Baker Mayfield was the Los Angeles Rams quarterback who won that game last year and knocked us out of the playoffs last year.
Yep. And then
Man.
you would play if the Packers could win, you'd play the Packers to go to the Super Bowl.
And don't forget the icing on the cake is Matt Stafford, who is our old quarterback who we could beat. It played at the same high school as Bobby Lane, who put a curse on the Lions.
That was taken off last year by Jeff Daniels
Yeah.
and
but
Peyton Manning.
that's why, I mean, even the scenario like beyond this game is whatever it is.
Yeah.
But this is the game. This is the game that would bury same old Lions forever. This would, if you really are a different franchise and you have course corrected and the trajectory is what it never ever was, this is the game to win.
Yeah.
Yep. So
That's where we're at today. We're
So
excited.
if we lose, I will be. I don't know that you might be looking for a third host. You might be looking for 3 new hosts.
Yeah. So, listeners,
The only saving grace tonight is that Joe's going to be at the football game, so he's not going to be texting us, because normally during the games, Joe goes from maniacally happy to possibly
I hate football.
I hate
suicidal.
football. How many times have I texted you guys that exact?
I hate the
lot.
Lions.
I hate football.
Yeah.
Weekly. So,
So
If
no
you're listening
Dr.
to this-
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from Joe this week.
and if you're listening to this, go on Monday and the Lions lose. We need therapy. We need you guys to hit up the YouTubes, the Instagrams, and all that other stuff and go, we are so sorry for your loss.
But don't put that out there, because when we win,
But when we win, you could say, Cowboys are soulless.
who?
Just because
Okay,
the Cow-
so,
the Cowboys.
since this is the football segment, who are you rooting for in the Cowboys Packers game?
Oh, I'm rooting for the Packers.
Oh, yeah.
myself.
Anytime the Cowboys lose,
I
it's
will
okay.
never root for the Cowboys.
No,
Cow-
ever.
So
ever.
top 3 teams, top 3 most hated NFL teams. Go.
Cowboys.
Cowboys 1
Cowboys won. For us? For
for
the
you
Lions
guys
fan?
individually.
Cowboys are 1 easily. Vikings might be 2.
I think Bears.
Bears is a good
I
one.
hate the Bears.
I hate the Bears too.
Mine's easy. Cowboys, Packers, Seahawks.
Oh, Seahawks would be my number 3 as well right now, just because they're just so,
Historically,
they have our number.
In the
I'm so tired of playing them.
yeah,
man.
in recent history, they've screwed us.
Yeah.
Several
Yeah,
times.
they have. They have.
So,
They beat us in the playoffs.
But the
they
moral-
they tapped the ball out of the end zone against.
but the moral of the story is, if you're a Cowboys fan, you suck.
That is the moral of the story.
That is the moral of the story.
Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was
I
last
said-
week. It was 100% last
I
week.
stand by it, too.
Would you like to restate that?
Yeah, if you're a Cowboys fan, turn off the show and don't ever listen to us again. We don't need you. We don't want you.
And this is where Nick says, "No, don't,
do
no."
that. Joe. No, we can have some lines in the sand, and I feel like that's a fair line.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair line.
Yeah.
We are-
if you are a Cowboys fan, I dare you to call in
734.
and tell us
Yeah.
why you actually think you're worthy of listening to
Four-nine-four.
America's team.
Why are you America's team? And that's what I want to know. Cowboys fans,
09
call in, and why do
80.
you think you're America's team? What makes you America's
We're
team?
America's
why
team
wouldn't
now.
the Patriots be America's team? I mean, they're literally
The Patriots.
Come on.
America's team has to be beloved by Americans, right?
Yeah, I think the Patriots were below.
No, they were for a while.
They were for a while. You know who's America's team in? Look at me. Look at me in the eyes. We're America's team now.
We are. Detroit. Everyone loves Dan Campbell.
After that Hard Knocks,
Yeah.
people paid attention.
Yeah, it was seeing Aiden Hutchinson doing Billie Jean. When he's
That's right.
dancing as Billie Jean, they're like, we're in.
Or they're like, man, look at the trapezoids on frickin' Dan Campbell.
Man, I'll
doing-
tell you what, man.
I love Dan Campbell.
I love Dan Campbell. All right.
Is he the greatest coach in Lions history?
I mean,
It's
no,
3 seasons in.
not yet. Not yet.
No?
It's still got unfortunately, it's still got to be fonts by default.
I know.
Yeah, I want to see. A lot depends.
Fonts was fun.
So first of all,
He was coked out of his mind.
It was
he's
fun.
got to win a playoff game this year. Dan
Yeah.
Campbell has to win a playoff game next year, and next year we have to return to the playoffs and at least win one playoff game. He has to make us a perennial Super Bowl or playoff contender and Super Bowl contender.
What if he wins the Super Bowl this year?
I'm
My
writing.
gosh, then I will preach my next sermon totally nude. I don't know. No, I'm not going to.
You heard it here first.
No. Like that would blow my
That
mind.
is
we
St.
going-
Matthew's United Methodist Church
I don't-
on 6 Mile, Livonia, Michigan.
I don't think we're that good. But stranger things have happened.
Puck luck?
You'd have to play the Ravens again,
Oh,
probably.
no.
And,
Potentially.
No.
potentially.
No. They would tear
You know
us
what?
to
But it wouldn't
shreds.
be. But it wouldn't be at Baltimore.
They
Okay.
would tear us to They played us here.
No, that was at Baltimore.
That
No, it
was
wasn't.
here.
That was here. That was a home game. Ugh.
That was here. Where
That
we got
was
slaughtered?
here where we got
No, that was
bent over this
Baltimore.
table. You are wrong.
That was at Baltimore.
I think Nick might be right.
It was at Baltimore. It was at Baltimore.
I believe Nick was right.
I am positive on this one. I am so positive. I am so positive. That's all.
Fair enough.
Scores at Baltimore, 38-6.
I don't care.
Okay, so
They'd still kill us.
before I told this to my kids before the season started.
Destroy us.
Before we started, I said the Lions will begin and end the season with a victory over the Kansas City Chiefs, and I stand by it.
You Did not say on the show, so it did not happen.
Well, I just did.
Well, at the end of the season.
No, I'll call my son right now. Well, not right now. He's at work.
Yeah, he's going to be like,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course.
let me call.
My dad said it, of course.
Oh, my dad can beat up your dad.
He's taking me
No,
to a playoff game.
I bet you my dad would lose to your dad. Like
No.
my dad.
My dad is legally blind, bro, and he has COPD.
So does my dad. I want to see this dad fight.
They can do a huff off.
Dad fight. Dad fight.
How many 5-year-olds could my dad take?
None. Have you ever seen the
You
videos
never
of like?
see him coming. We make jokes like that all the time with my father. It's acceptable, just for the record.
Have you ever seen that like nature videos where like ants or bees like take over some? That's what it would be like with if my dad fought 5-year-old children. It would just be a sea. It would just eventually take him over, and you just see like a hand reach up out of the crowded and just slowly descend into a sea of tiny fists.
Gosh. This is a good segue into talking about the next thing that we want to talk about,
Go ahead.
which is,
Daredevil?
Next gen.
I mean, we're at minute 36.
Well, let's just real quick touch on the Daredevil thing because it's hot news.
Touch Daredevil.
So when they were going to do Daredevil Born Again, what is it called? They killed off screen Foggy and what was the other person's name? Karen. They killed him off screen for the new show.
Mhm.
And eventually, because of how much crap Disney and Marvel has been putting out lately, they kind of revamped the show, and Foggy and Karen are now going to be back on the new show. Which is a lot of they didn't kill him off screen because the show never came out.
Oh.
So they're able to do it because they're able to come out clean. But the fans are thrilled. Like, people are very, very happy about that, which I think they should be. Just killing off 2 leads off screen.
Killing off screens. That's a bitch move.
Yeah, that's a bitch move. But they're coming back. So just real quick, I wanted to get that out there because it is relevant to this week.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Makes me happy.
Now do your thing.
Star Trek.
Da, 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 da.
It's Nick and Now.
So we have a guy who watches our YouTube broadcast from Talk Punch.
Yep.
And every week he's like, "Oh, look at that, Nick sung again. Yeah. Why does he have to sing?" And I always reply, "I don't know. I really don't know.
It just happens.
I know.
It's a sickness.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's
Are you
not just
down with the sickness though?
I'm done. I'm done with the sickness.
I'm not.
Ooh.
I got a tickle in my throat.
Heyo, Joe.
Heyo.
What are you doing? Hand check.
The problem is that it's not just this podcast that I randomly sing. I randomly sing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a sickness. It really is.
All right.
I can't help it. So Naked
We
Now.
love you anyway, kind of.
Naked Now. Sorry, I got a cough. I need water. Oh my gosh. No, it's fine. I'll be okay. I'll manage. The Enterprise responds to the SS Tchaikovsky. There we go, Tchaikovsky. It's a science vessel near a supergiant, and then they get this weird message from them, and it sounds like the crew is like partying, and then an airlock goes off, and they board the ship, and everyone's dead and frozen, and the crew's all dead, and Geordi touches one of the bodies, and because a weird sound happens, we realize a virus transferred to him, and all of a sudden, everyone on the ship is starting to get this weird virus. They have to touch each other, and when they touch each other, it transfers something over. And what this virus basically does,
Think about themselves when they touch each other.
it makes them drunk. Essentially, they all become drunk and super hot, like literal, like sweating hot. And as this leads to happening, more and more of the crew are getting this, and Wesley gets it, and he ends up taking over the engineering section and takes over the ship, basically. And Picard gets it. Dr. Crusher gets it. Dr. Crusher's coming on to Captain Picard, and Picard's all down for it. He is DTF, down to fornicate.
Nice.
Yeah, see what I did there?
I did.
Yeah, he's down for it. So they're all getting horny and turned on, and they all want to sleep with each other.
Hell yeah.
Just like this show.
Tasha sleeps with Data. Babies are made. Not really.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
I know. That's how the Borg were created.
Basically, by the end of the episode, the Doctor has created a cure. She cures everyone, and everyone gets away happily ever after. The end.
That was actually short.
May I submit
Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
Top 5 summary of all time for you.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just trying to get past all the coughs.
It was succinct. It was factual.
Huh?
I don't think you really left anything out.
I didn't give any opinion in there, really.
Yeah.
I would say top 3.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was very good.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was good.
I appreciate it.
Well done.
Just wait till the next one.
Yeah.
Get rough. It's going to get rough. So,
All right, 4.
let's start with a clip.
Oh, I thought we were going right to
You are
ratings.
fully functional, aren't you?
Of course, but
How fully?
in every way, of course. I am programmed in multiple techniques. A broad variety of pleasuring.
You jewel. That's exactly what I hope.
Yeah, you jewel.
You jewel.
Questions.
Yeah.
So, Picard originally says, Data, you can't get this virus. And then Data says, my neural pathways are very similar.
We're
to
more
yours."
similar than you think,
So we're
Captain.
more similar. Okay, that's fine. Let's believe that.
Was
he
that a
can
Maya
get-
Angelou quote that he did? We're more alike than we are different?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Pretty sure it was.
So here's my question. Fully functional. How far? To completion?
Well, see, that's the question.
What do you mean? What-
So how does
How
Like,
far
is
to
there-
completion? What?
to the
Is there-
batteries run out?
Is there like a fluid that
Does he- okay.
sprouts forth from him?
From his loins?
If he's
Is it
truly
just
like a
data? Is
human?
it just like it's all zeros and ones? It's all zeros and ones.
Or is it just kind of like, or is it kind of like in the Seinfeld where you can fake it as a guy? Oh, I'm faking it.
But
Oh, I faked it.
I faked it.
If it's enough
this is a
already, and I just
legit
want to get
question.
some sleep.
So this is a legit question, I think, because I mean, that could be the gift that just keeps giving.
Or that could be.
Better lover, Data or Odo?
Oh,
It had to
Odo.
be, no, it had to be Data because he's like energy nonstop.
No, but Odo can go everywhere
Yeah, but
and anywhere.
Data could just go nonstop.
I don't know. I don't know if
Unless there is.
Yeah, but
I don't know if sometimes the length is or the amount of time is something
Well,
you strive for.
okay,
Sometimes it's not even-
he was created by a
sometimes-
guy who created him in his image. You know he's endowed.
Yeah, that's true. If
I'm
another
gonna
man-
guess it's like, oh, you know, I'm a 4 or 5. This guy's gonna be a 6 or 7. Made after me, by the way.
I just feel like being able to go all day is actually could be detrimental. I don't think people really want an all day. I don't think people really truly want that.
Nick,
Am I just?
It
am I
probably
just-
depends on the
I think
individual.
that's more hope than it is factual.
I think that's based on an individual.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm gonna guess there are people out there that won't mind going a few times throughout the day
A few times throughout the day is very different
or all
than
day.
all day.
Yes, Joe.
Oh no, I thought you were asking if I'm just saying I'm one of those people.
Yeah,
I'm raising my hand.
I wouldn't have spent a whole day.
I'm checking in as eligible. I'm reporting as eligible.
That's why they called me.
I do appreciate how Tasha immediately seeks out Data, though. Of all the people, she goes right for Data.
Well,
Knowing what we know about Cleons, I'm surprised she didn't go for the Cleon.
yeah, maybe they didn't know that at the time.
Yeah,
And Worf wasn't infected. He's like these stupid humans
yeah.
I-
Which is weird. Why would they not affect Worf?
because no one touched him.
That's a good point.
Because
Worf
they
Race, that's racist.
That's a racist.
That's racist as hell.
Yeah, it only touched like people who looked humanoid. It didn't touch anyone else.
They all look humanoid.
That's true.
Because they're all played by humans.
Yeah,
Dang it!
budgetary reasons.
Dang it! Dang it!
I did not like.
Google that. See what you come up with.
I didn't like Tasha's.
Data's completion.
No.
I didn't like Tasha's getup when she.
You didn't
I liked the getup. I didn't like the hair.
Oh.
The Superman hair.
Oh, the little J curl, the
Yeah.
little curl right here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she looked good though.
she did.
They all look good.
Crusher looked good.
Yeah,
I was hoping for Picard to crush her.
I loved Picard's little skip.
Oh yeah, or
That is like one of my favorite things.
when he leans up, he's like,
Yeah.
I was like, not right now, Doctor. Ooh. I was like,
he's getting that. I mean,
he's like,
Which is funny in hindsight, knowing how sterile and cold the set was when they initially started.
yeah,
Like realizing that, like he's like, I'm a professional actor, and then he's doing those
Yeah.
scenes, and It just cracks
But
me
the
up.
little Skip walking there.
The Skip,
Yeah.
what was that? An engineering or something like that? Or
Sick bay.
Sick bay, yes. When he came in to see her, he hopped as he walked in. Hey, Beverly.
Well, how about when
You
she
will
was like,
address me as captain.
she's like, I'm she's talking to Picard. Like right now, I'm extremely bad. What was the quote? We seem to lack good judgment. Like right now, I find you extremely. I was like, oh, she just dissed him by saying, I wanted to bone you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Man. So here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
They're all drunk. So all they want to do is have sex with one another?
Have you never been drunk, Nick?
Yeah, but you don't want to just have sex with everyone and anyone, do you?
It's a version of being drunk. It's not being drunk verbatim. It mimics some of that behavior.
But it makes them all horn dogs.
And the one guy wanted to play with chips the entire time.
Oh, the isolinear
Yeah.
chips, yeah.
Oh, that guy was on Seinfeld.
Yes,
Twice.
he was.
He was on twice.
Oh, nice.
He was a grocery store clerk. He says, no puffs, just flakes. And then he was a mailman where in one of the racist episodes where
Oh, nice.
Jerry's it's the one where Jerry was trying to date the Native American girl Naomi, and he's trying to make it up to her, and he's like, what? Let's just go get some food. I know a great Szechuan restaurant around here, and he asked the mailman, hey, do you know where the Chinese food place is?
Yeah.
And it was him, and he goes, why? Just because I'm Chinese?
Oh,
it was really funny.
Yeah, it's a good
But I was like, oh, a Seinfeld guy.
Yeah, Seinfeld guy. All right, so we got... LaForge wasn't a horn dog, though, either.
No. He flirted with
The
Tasha, though.
The first person he went to see was Wesley. Ooh,
Oh, dude, come on.
problematic.
Hey, now.
Come on.
Don't do that. I thought it was really cool that he took off his glasses.
Wait,
Episode 2.
Wait, hold on. That's a line for you that I said?
Yeah, Nick.
Pedophilia?
Yeah. Well, and,
I was saying
you're
it was
wearing
wrong.
Elon Musk's
I
jacket.
was saying it was wrong.
Oh.
I wasn't saying it was right.
He went there to see his toy.
Yeah.
So he took off his glasses. Episode 2. I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, he was talking to Tasha where he's like, I just want to see how,
like you
I thought it
do.
looked pretty
how
cool.
beautiful you look.
Face.
Yeah.
I thought it looked pretty cool. I like that.
Does look pretty cool. Yeah.
What? I'm sure we'll get into it eventually, but why is it like that? Like, why is his face like that?
Why is he blind?
Well, like, why does he have those?
Because he's blind.
Well, the
And
things
that's
on the
a-
side of his head?
That's a way to help him see.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Why-
blind.
That's a way to help him see.
Yeah, and so those are kind of implanted.
Was that in last week's episode?
Yeah, briefly.
Wow.
Briefly. At the very,
You guys really watch these episodes, eh?
I did. Yeah, when
I
I was
watched
talking to
it.
Dr. Crusher, when
Yeah,
she was meeting him,
and it was off last week, too.
she was talking about how they give him headaches.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Did I miss-
I didn't want to say it until...
Oh.
Yeah.
I watched it. It was
Sure you
dog
did.
shit. It was dog shit. Listen, my rating says I watched that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
85% of it, and you could still establish it's dog crap.
Yeah.
I don't even think you need 85%.
Well, regardless, yes, we've talked about him being blind before.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So this episode, nothing really happens.
No, it's just supposed to...
It's kind of
It
like
was-
a fun episode, isn't
Yeah,
it?
right out the gate. Here's my issue. Story-wise, my issue with it is that you're doing an out-of-character episode 2 episodes into the series.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
This seemed way too early for an episode like this.
This is a season
well, even
2 or 3
it's
episode.
even a later first season.
No,
If you
I-
put this towards the end of the first season.
This is a 2 or 3. You want to get those characters out the gate, get them established, and then you want to go parallel universe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they are. That's a good way to say it, an out of character episode, because you don't really have the rapport with these characters yet to realize, like, oh, they could have done some more things with matchups, right?
Right,
With
like
certain
Tasha
people.
immediately going after Data,
Right.
or the Doctor immediately going after Picard.
Right.
There's
And
more
to that point-
backstory there.
And to that point, Encounter at Farpoint, it just says that Picard brought Jack Crusher's body home. There was no,
Right.
that they were
He's about to
eyeballing,
bring- he's about to bring
eyeballing each
Beverly's
other.
body home too.
Yeah,
you
he
know what I
was.
mean?
Yeah, he was.
yeah. DTF.
So, but there was no establish that they had that flirtation or that admiration for each other when, I guess, what they do now, type of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think banging Picard is a way for her to get closer to her
Jack?
dead husband?
Yeah.
Since he was the last one to touch him.
I don't think.
Am I thinking too deeply in
I
that?
think it's way too deeply.
Yeah.
Just like Picard was trying to think way too deeply.
Mm-hmm. Amen, brother. Amen.
So, out of character episode this early in a series, I'm not a fan of. Like,
Doesn't fit.
To me, this
I
is
think
the
it's
second episode of the season.
yeah,
Because the premiere is just one episode. This is ridiculous to do this on the second episode.
yeah. Imagine if you tried to do Intendant Kira episode 2 of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, you're
I
not.
mean, I'd take it any time. Don't get me wrong.
Right. But
It
these
lacks that-
episodes
it
play
lacks
better.
but that's a good point. You're not going to do that.
No.
Because it takes away.
These types of episodes
it
play
cheapens
better
the character.
with
Yep.
well established characters.
Right, because here's the thing. Now we've seen Tasha sleep with Data in the second episode, and she's supposed to. So first of all,
What
we're
is this,
suppo-
Grey's Anatomy?
Well, there's a little bit of part to that. Like, okay, we're supposed to live in a post-sexism society, and here's the woman who's the horn dog sleeping with him. It cheapens
But
her
she's a horn
character.
dog?
Well, yeah, she immediately goes after Data.
And kisses that guy in engineering as she's walking
I remember
by.
that.
Yeah,
Lucky bastard.
Yeah.
She's
working it.
she was a
So my point being is it cheapens all the characters, right? You're supposed I guess the only one where it kind of makes you go, oh, this isn't to his character is a little bit Picard, right? Because we've seen him be stern the whole time, always. So
Yeah.
to see him act a little like
he's the lead,
his
so
little
we've got-
hop in sick bay was pretty funny.
he's the lead, so we've seen him more.
Right.
And we've gotten a glimpse into his character way more than the others, I think.
And then you just have Worf sitting at the con, just calling out all these idiots. And
These stupid humans.
Mm-hmm.
Picard's been infected.
was this the one with the joke, the bad joke,
Which one?
the joke that Data made?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, the poor
Yeah. That looked like a man's peanut or whatever it was. Yeah. Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah, there once was a woman from Venus that looked like a Mr. Data.
Whose body was shaped like a
Yeah. I too do.
Wesley
not
was
understand.
annoying as shit.
I was going to say, my first note for the whole thing was, gee, I wonder why people didn't like Wesley.
Well, again, this is not fair to his character either.
Oh, I
right?
agree.
Yeah.
He was written this way.
Well, no, but he was affected by the virus.
But right off the bat, he's talking about everything he can do better. He knew everything about the ship and
Yeah.
nerding out. And
Yeah.
then what's he do? Where was it? He can automatically do something that would take the chief engineer 2 weeks or more to do in 3 minutes.
Yeah, so he's like this.
You just got to see it in your head. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
that's a good point.
And then
That's
when
a-
Come on.
when they set him up with the voice, the basically like the AI voice
Yeah.
thing, I'm like, okay, this is gonna screw everybody over in about 30 minutes.
and sure enough, it
Sure
did.
enough, 30
Yeah.
minutes later, it screwed everybody over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after we talked to Will Wheaton, and I feel bad saying that, but
It has nothing to do with
It had
him.
nothing to do with Will.
Yeah, it
It's-
doesn't.
It has to do with the way his character was written.
These like Gene Roddenberry's like boy genius need during this first couple seasons. It's like, dude, just stop. I'm already like, just stop with Wesley. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I
was
was
like-
I was going into this. I didn't realize. So we've watched now 4 episodes, right? Essentially,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he was such an integral part.
He
That
was
because he's been in. I mean, he's essentially been a part of all 4 episodes, right?
not as much in the last Outpost or Code of Honor.
No, not as much, but
He was still there. He's still a lead character because he's taking the ops.
yeah, they
Oh, that's
yeah they
true.
put him on
That's
him
true.
on the
Which is
on
like-
the bridge.
Okay, we have all these trained of people.
Right.
We're going to let
To
a
be
kid.
fair, he's like, I almost nailed your mom. Go ahead and sit at ops a couple times.
No, this Riker let him sit at ops first.
Oh, that's right. And then Picard let him do it later.
Yeah, and Riker, it's like he's supposed to be the first in command who's like, I don't want my captain to get injured, but let this child run this ship with no training.
He wasn't running the ship.
Because he sees it in his mind.
He wasn't running the ship. He was just letting him sit there as like a token.
I know.
They weren't taking him seriously at that point.
I know.
He feels like like a rough draft version of Sheldon Cooper.
Yes, I can see what you're saying there.
Yes. Very rough draft. Like people who are writing about a nerd who don't really understand what a nerd is, even though they were nerds who were writing it.
Yeah.
They're nerds who romanticize what they are, is really what it was.
Like us.
We're geniuses.
Like
we
we're
see
like-
everything in our brain. No one.
It's kind of like when we're like, hey, we're a good podcast. And we're like, yeah.
Yeah.
We are a good podcast.
See? Perfect example.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that was a.
Hey,
Yeah. coming hard at those springs.
Last week, our premiere for The Next Generation was the best premiere we've had of all three.
Shows, yeah.
Of all three shows that we've watched.
Well, no one cares about that middle show. We were a new show during Deep Space
But
Nine.
I can see it. Well, like Next Generation, there is a popularity to it. We
Big
are
fracking deal.
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
You got more, or you just?
Yeah, Nick's so mad. So mad.
I'm not.
That's a good one for this episode.
I don't know why I
that-
didn't start with
Yeah.
that. Actually, I don't know what I was
They're in
thinking.
your description.
I know.
I thought it was funny that everybody was naked and frozen.
Oh my
at the
gosh! When they
beginning.
went to the other
I was
ship,
like, God. He's
a
like,
lot of
it's what human or Earth culture would call a wild remnants of a wild party or whatever.
Cold and hard.
And then everybody was naked. I was like,
that is
this
a
is
wild party.
This is a bit different than a wild
Yes,
party.
that's
Data.
called a
See,
key
again,
party.
Again, if this is what they get like when they're like drink alcohol, then I need to hang out with these people.
Yeah.
Maybe not all of them.
What's the alcohol of choice on Next Generation?
It's actually synthahol.
I just don't
blood
understand
wine.
why you.
Morphs can get some blood wine.
Yeah,
going.
that's right.
I want to be in that room with these executives when they decide this is the second episode of the show to air.
Yeah, I
'Cause
agree.
This is just such a bad call for a second
Well,
episode.
their theory was let's harken back to the original series just once because that's
Right.
all they really do.
Because this comes from the original
I
series.
think
Yes.
even the next episode would have been a better second episode
Yeah, it would have been a better second episode.
because it felt more like. I
And-
mean, not without going and reviewing that one yet. It felt more like Star Trek.
Yeah, you're right. It had that same the story structure almost.
Yeah.
You start to see what Next Generation and really Deep Space Nine and Voyager will be from that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Just not great episode though.
No.
Not a great episode.
But I will say, like watching this, I was looking at the bridge because they were on the bridge a lot. Like, what a shell shock that must have been in 1987 from the old bridges to the Enterprise D bridge because it's so different.
Yeah, so it's sleek lines,
Sleek lines, beige,
yeah,
all the
carpeted and
padding on the seats,
yeah.
and just the standing. The standing
Those seats
positions.
look comfortable.
They really do.
they sit
Nice
kind of
leather.
weird in them though.
Well, in the next episode, I noted that I'm glad they fixed the positioning of Ops and Con at some point because them pointing towards each other is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen those like on the floor rocking gaming chairs? I think
Yes.
I think your son might
Gavin
have
has
one.
one.
I used
Yeah.
to have one. Yeah, back
That's
in
what
the
they remind me of. Like they feel like they're just positioned on a pole and they're like those gaming chairs that made of brown
super
leather.
comfortable. Yeah. Yeah.
That's essentially what they're doing, just gaming. And
Want to go Code of Honor?
Code of Honor.
Do it.
So the Enterprise arrives at a planet where they need to acquire a vaccine from this race that they don't really know much about, but they know they have strict customs very similar to ancient China. Specifically, while the men in the culture rule society, the land is controlled by women. Lutan appears and right away tries to give something to Picard, and when he does that, Yar steps in and tosses his security person, impressing Lutan. Lutan then kidnaps her and takes her to his planet. They're all upset on the Enterprise, but they realize this is part of their culture, so they have to just go and honor their culture and ask for her back kindly. He refuses her back, and when he refuses her back, his other wife gets involved and says, I will kill her so you cannot marry her. They get in a fight to the death, and Yar wins. Blah, I can't talk.
nailed it.
And right when she wins and stabs and kills the other woman, they beam her back to sickbay and revive her. So that way she technically died. So that makes Yar won the match, and she can leave this guy on her own. And then the other woman gets to run away with her land and marry a different guy. And in addition, the Enterprise got their vaccine. The end.
Not bad.
Another 30-second one.
That was under 30 seconds.
I saw that one. Yeah.
I think
that was under 30 seconds.
that was good.
Thank you.
Is this now? Is this the
This is
shape
the
of,
racist episode.
No, is this the shape of things to come? Like, is it like you actually
Quick and concise.
surmising?
Part of it can have to do with the fact that a lot of the Next
Summarizing?
Generation episodes are pretty plain.
Yeah, I mean, there's not.
Like, you think about it, Deep Space Nine episodes were fairly deep. Then you have Battlestar Galactica,
Never heard of it.
which is fairly deep. You have these episodes where they all get drunk and screw each other.
Have you ever watched?
That should have been your summary, man.
Have
it should've
you
been.
ever watched? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The first one's called The Gang Gets Racist or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I talked with a couple people about this. My son,
Did he watch them with you?
He watched them with me.
Did he like them as much as Encounter at Farpoint?
He did.
Really?
He did.
Okay.
That kid's
I was
special.
talking with Sean today. He didn't understand how this was considered a racist episode.
He's a white guy. Of course he wouldn't.
Allegedly.
Eli didn't either, and Eli's really good with the radar. He calls us out on many things. He's like, that's really problematic what you just said, and then you think about it, and you're like,
The
yeah,
same
you're right,
kid that
Eli.
got called from camp for
catcalling.
catcalling. This is the kid that you said
To be fair,
Let's
was a
innocent.
parenting issue.
Well, let's encourage people to call or write in and all that other stuff. But I could get how some people might say they don't see how it's racist, but definitely culturally insensitive.
I think this was flat out racist, like clear as day.
I was watching this. I'm like,
It was uncomfortable.
this is racist, right?
This is uncomfortable.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not just seeing this. This is not good.
Like just this idea that, okay, so they based it off of ancient Chinese culture, but they actually presented more like African culture.
Yeah, with all,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
With the dress and everything, especially.
And then them stealing the women and taking the women and being like, it's about honor and blah, blah, blah.
This was efficiently racist.
yeah, there
Like-
you go.
Just-
That's a great term for
It
it.
was just not great.
And all the cast acknowledges it as a big mistake.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not a great take, okay?
Like the only thing positive really I got from this episode was that you start to see what the story structure would become for the future.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, so where do we go? Where do we start with this episode?
I want to start with some positives, and I touched on it a few minutes ago, and Rob just mentioned it. It did feel like this felt like what I assumed the next generation of Star Trek was going to be. Like they say, discovering strange new worlds, right? They're going to
Seek out new life
seek out new life. They're going to
and new civilizations.
right and learn about other cultures and learn about other races and stuff like that. Let's set aside all the problematic stuff. That's what this episode did. That's kind of what I assumed this show was going to be like.
Yeah.
It felt way more like a classic, an original series episode than anything.
It had structure and it had better editing and it ran smoother together than the prior
Yeah.
episodes.
So that is a compliment, but in my mind, that's also an insult because it did feel like a Star Trek episode from the 60s.
yeah, you're right.
It
was
did.
cheesy.
Even aesthetically, it
Production
felt like
design was terrible.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
It even followed the same cliche of like a fight to the death. Like that always happened in TOS. Like
Yes.
there's always some grand fight at the end of the episode.
Well, like when, yeah, you're right.
the cinema, the choreography for the fight was
Terrible.
really bad.
Yeah.
Like
I think the acting in this
The little
the acting in this
claw hand?
Yeah.
was horrible.
Yes.
Very bad acting.
Yep.
oh my,
Even from
Natasha
no.
Yar is,
Yeah.
but they call her Tasha.
Tasha.
yeah, but Picard was bad.
Yeah.
I thought everybody was bad in this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, no one was really good in this episode. So, so first of all, we start off with them meeting for the first time, right? And they beam onto the ship.
They want to use their
they
own
roll out the
transport.
red
Yeah.
carpet for this guy to walk forward. Okay. Can we talk about how greetings? Raise your-
Handshake.
Hands up. I just picked up on that. Hands up.
Can we talk?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how your security officer's first action is
Overreact?
to beat the crap out of their person when
Yeah.
they're like, "We have to be on our best behavior. We have to understand our customs are different." And she immediately does the flip
Yep.
maneuver like she did in the first episode
Yeah.
with Q.
She may need some counseling.
Bitches be tripping.
She goes right to violence every single freaking time.
I mean, it was just a simple flip maneuver. It's not like she punched this one.
She is a woman, Nick.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm kidding.
so my comments about Jordy going to the young boys' room is problematic. It is problematic. They're both problematic.
But maybe she wants to assert dominance, which I have respect for.
Joe's into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They were very impressed.
See,
Yeah, they were.
That's my point.
were-
This
very-
might solve my problem.
Ooh. So I'm not understanding this whole thing. His issue was that he was broke
Yes.
because he didn't have land. He had that woman as his first person already, right? First.
I didn't like her.
So then he takes Tasha. She doesn't have any land.
But
I know.
he will get the land if the other chick dies, and that's why he takes Tasha, because Tasha's going to kill her,
him, and the land
he'll get the land,
transfers to him.
He'll get
and
the
then
land.
they'll give,
And then he gets Tasha.
or he gives Tasha back, and who cares?
Okay.
This sounds like a pyramid scheme to me.
So it's a win-win. Okay.
It's a win-win for the guy.
I thought it was like poorly explained, personally.
It was poorly explained, but it was easy to figure out.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Shots fired, Nick.
Yep.
Shots
I
fired.
mean, even I figured it out.
Exactly. And he doesn't even watch the episode.
No, he doesn't. He's true. He reads the cliff notes. So that
I don't even do that. I just wait for your summary.
that's
And then
it.
I just take it from there.
Nailed it. So okay, so Tasha, they kidnap Tasha. They take her hostage. I know they got this vaccine and all, but like that's literally a declaration of war essentially right away.
Yeah.
You should be attacking that planet or doing something. You should be sending an away crew.
Then Q shows up and shows your violent.
Whatever. Like honestly, they took your people and they're violent people and they respond to violence. So I don't know.
It's a good thing
Yeah,
you
but
had
they got
Troy
all those
there.
hand spikes
Yeah.
yeah,
that they kill. I wouldn't want to start a war with the.
with the weird like curved in spike.
I want to re-edit that fight scene with the cat. Meow.
Oh, that was such a terrible. Yeah, here's some great weapons. This one's great because you can swing from long range and hit them. This one you have to be right in their face though.
But it does slide off and hit other people in the crowd.
and kills people in the crowd.
I like so
As soon as that guy got hit, I was like, "Oh, that guy's gone. He's done."
so it's a spike and it didn't stick at all. It was like bounce.
It bounced right
Yeah,
off.
it
It bounced
bounced
right
off.
off him.
I was like, oh god.
It's like this is the best. Like you guys didn't be like. They're like me as a director. One cut, we're done. We're done. Move on. Next shot. Like you can afford to take extra
Directed by
shots.
Keeping Up with the Cardassians.
No, like this is poorly directed. Like
Nick specifically for the record.
That's
oh
true.
my gosh, I know because if it was YouTube, we'd still be working on our toy time.
But it would be
video.
perfect.
It would be
It would-
perfect.
Yeah, we'd still be in that room recording
Yeah.
against a green screen dancing.
We're
Doing,
just emaciated, just sweating and skin and bones. Like
We could do
it. Take 6,500. Go.
doing time. Stop crying.
That would be me.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
need the shot, damn it.
I need it.
I like how they had like this American Gladiator style practice room for this girl.
Yeah.
This-
I know
How
it's
many
like the pyramid.
I was like, how many fights to the death does she have to go through? Like,
I know.
How many would you have to go through to get a practice area?
Quite a few, or maybe I would think like at that point you don't need a practice area because you've killed multiple people.
Yeah, she's probably been training. She knows maybe her husband's a scumbag.
I don't know, but watching her train did not look that intense. It looked like
I
a
know.
5-year-old playing
Oh
on
my God.
the monkey bars.
Okay, have you ever now during COVID we got to see some very interesting quote unquote sports beanbag
yeah.
toss.
Yep.
Have you ever seen tag?
Ultimate tag?
Ultimate
Yes.
tag. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
It looked like an ultimate tag arena.
Yeah, it did. It did.
I'm like, she would be actually a pretty good ultimate tag player.
Literally, she was just like bouncing around, jumping around. Whoa, whoa. I'm like, wow, great. It looked like it reminded me of the episode of The Office where the guys are like doing parkour. Parkour. They're just terrible at it. Like, I'm sorry, I don't look at that and feel threatened. I look at that and say, this woman needs more recess time.
I liked how Tasha was like, yeah, I could take her.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
away. And then also like, okay, can we talk about
Why does she
how-
have a hard on for the guy?
Yeah, can we talk about that? Like that was
That's also racist too.
well, not race. That's also sexist. She's
What-
attracted to the strong man who takes authority and dominance over her.
Oh, I thought it was because he was black.
Oh, I was thinking.
I
more
just
sexist than
assumed
racist.
I just assumed that she was like, this must be packing, so I'll take this guy.
I just assumed like
Wow, that was
why is she attracted?
That's not racist
like,
for
out of
me.
the blue.
I'm
That's a compliment.
yeah.
I just like, and then Deanna like calling her out. Come on, just admit you're attracted. What does that matter with anything?
Yeah.
Jealous bitch. She went in there and totally like manipulated her mind, and she was like, "Damn, you got me."
Well, and I think this is also them trying to figure out what Deanna is as a character. Like, what is the point of this woman? She
At
just
this
walk around
yeah.
in a skin tight cat suit, or
At
does
this
she,
point, she's my least favorite, and she's also the least interesting.
yeah, and she just
So
reads,
far, yeah.
and she just reads minds. Like, great, like
Kind of though.
kind of, but not really
It's
good
an
at it.
it's an empath, so they can't read minds; they can read feelings.
Yeah, well, she's not really good at it.
Yeah, she was. She knew that.
She had a hard on for what the guy.
Yeah, well,
She knew that Tasha's basement was flooded.
yeah. We need a sump pump on aisle 6. Oh, God.
Maybe she didn't. Never mind.
Gosh, this is so problematic. I hate this.
This is the
podcast.
review that this
Why
episode
are we in
deserves,
this-
though.
I don't know why I'm on this podcast. All right. Gosh, Rob and I are both like over here coughing and dying. Joe's just fine. He's got a football game to go to tonight.
Got to man up, man.
All right.
Got kneecaps to
I got
bite,
a question.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go on the holodeck, and she's going to fight this hologram, right?
Yeah.
And she's in uniform. And she throws on a gi
Yeah, make it official.
No, that's super.
versus a hologram.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's super dumb.
It's
It was
super dumb.
It's very dumb.
I'm like,
Super-
And then the other guy doesn't throw it on.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, but he got his ass whooped.
yeah, he did.
because he wasn't wearing the gi.
Because he wasn't wearing the gi.
That's the trick.
I think the whole point is to start showing the holodecks more, obviously, because they've made a point of showing them in multiple episodes.
And the holodeck was carpeted. That was weird.
Was
floor,
it? I
The
didn't-
floor.
Oh, I didn't pay attention.
They fixed that later.
Okay.
I
And
didn't
then it
notice
just
that.
becomes the lines, right?
Or maybe it's part of the hologram. You know what? I'm going to say it's part of the hologram.
There we go. Whatever.
Got it.
Sure.
Got it.
Fine. Sounds right.
Yep.
Sounds right. But like right away, this guy was suspicious, man. Like,
Oh, yeah.
hey, can she show me around the holodeck?
Yeah.
No, that's creepy.
Yeah, Picard wasn't included in that and all. He's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Seems totally normal that this man is pining after this woman. He's like basically over here eye banging her.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
I need her to show me.
And then Tasha's like, I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you. I'll show it to you. Gosh. Another weird episode.
Yes.
Bad episode.
Yes.
Racism wasn't even very good either.
I don't
Stupid.
I mean, part of this could be the whole because I am white and it's harder for me to see. In hindsight, I don't think this is as bad as people made it out to be. It's still not great.
No,
It's still not a great
no,
look.
not at all.
But I don't think it's as bad as it's been made out to be.
I would probably side more with what Rob said in the beginning. I wouldn't see it as outright racist as I would incredibly culturally insensitive.
Drastically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you're really nitpicking words, and it's six
It's
of one half.
semantics, yeah.
It's semantics, but I would err on the side of culturally insensitive and what is it? It's not cultural appropriation, but it is just like ignorance.
That being said, would you rather watch this or move along home?
Move along home.
You had to put a gun to your head.
I'm more comfortable with Move Along Home. I can have more fun with that episode.
I'm moving
El
along home too.
Moraine,
Yeah, I'd
1,
probably
2, 3.
move along
El
home.
Yeah, I'm moving along
Moraine,
home too. Yeah.
So here's a production note. The African theme of the episode was brought in by director Russ Mayberry,
White guy?
who had the Ligonians race cast entirely of African Americans. Mayberry was fired during production by the show's creator, Gene Roddenberry, and first assistant director completed the episode. Star Trek novel author Keith DeCando later recalled that this was because of the casting itself, while cast member Will Wheaton thought it was because Mayberry was racist towards the guest star after they were cast. Wow.
Well, we got a theme for the episode,
Yeah.
starting from the director's selection.
Now, if you want a silver lining, it did get several African Americans television credits.
True.
Yeah. I wonder if they are okay with I wonder if they can look back at the episode and be okay with it, or if they're not happy with it.
We know the cast is not happy about it.
Yeah.
I would. It just was not good.
No. it
All
was
around.
not. No, it was not.
No. Judging by what I've seen of Star Trek Next Generation so far, I've seen the series all the way through, and it's one of my favorites. But if I would have started with this, I'd be like, cancel it. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm out.
So far, we have.
Although in the 80s, they're probably like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Racism.
Different. Yeah.
Okay.
There is some truth to that, though, honestly.
Listen to how quickly you can sort of revisionist history the pilot into being good. I didn't think it was that bad in context of these two episodes now. Can I go back and give it like a 4.5?
There's some truth to that, right? No, you cannot, sir.
Nope.
No, you cannot.
Because,
no, you cannot.
okay, thinking about it, I stand by my rating. It was not very good. It all the things that we said, it did, right? It got worse. It got so much worse immediately.
And we'll get to the reviews, but I feel like I should hate Naked Now, but I don't. I think there's some parts where I got to chuckle out of it where I don't
I like
hate
the
it.
people were naked.
It's fun.
Yeah,
There was some underboob,
there was.
so that's a good thing.
So here's my thing. This goes back to what I said about Deep Space Nine. I love that series because it had something to say.
Not initially.
It still did.
Deep Space Nine
Well,
did.
like duet and things like that.
Deep Space Nine did.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah,
Star
A Man Alone, there was-
Star
there was
Trek
a-
had grand messages and things to make you think. These episodes don't make me think.
It did make you think of the second one, though. Like, what the hell were they thinking?
Well,
Yeah.
that. These didn't make me go, what's it? What, they're really trying to tell a good story here. No, they weren't.
Hold on. Oh, I'm bleeding.
you are bleeding.
Oh my gosh, it's everywhere.
It made you think
Rob has AIDS.
if Data ejaculates.
STI.
That's
It made you
STD.
think.
It did make me think about that.
STD.
I wonder if Data does have an STI from that. Ooh, can he get someone infected? Oh, we've got to wrap up soon. Rob's dying.
I'm not dying.
You know what I was
He's
thinking
bleeding
while
all
we
over
were
the place.
while we were reviewing is just to piggyback on what you were saying, how it doesn't make you think.
Yeah.
I was like, man, these are kind of very short reviews of these episodes. I'm like, are we rushing through these? I'm actively thinking, like, are we rushing through these? We're not.
We're not.
No.
We've talked quite a bit about
We've
these.
talked quite a bit about it. Yeah.
I know.
We
It
haven't-
just seemed I'm
There's not
used.
much to say, but we've talked about
It's funny because DS9 and even Battlestar Galactica really made you have conversations, right?
Well, you think
not just review episodes and what we thought of it, but really have conversations about decisions and scenes
Well,
and
yeah, like-
even certain dialogue interactions we would dissect for
Right, like
for
go
longer
through
periods
like
of time.
arguments that characters had with
Mm-hmm.
one another and their looks that they're making with one another. There's nothing like that in these episodes. So
No,
far.
sir.
There's no depth here yet.
That's a good word.
There it is. And this is why. This
Honestly-
is again why from Deep Space Nine I did not want to go right in the next gen because I felt like it would be such a quality drop off that it would be even harder for us. I think breaking it up with a different series helps.
I don't think I agree, but I don't think Battlestar Galactica was
That's a good argument.
I don't think it helps your argument because it's more of the same of what DS9 did.
Right, but it wasn't Star Trek.
At least it was a different universe, I think.
It's a
is what it
different.
True, but-
That's what I meant by
Okay.
going for it. Right.
I feel like we should have watched Full House between them to prep us for this.
The deepest episode
I
we
don't know.
watched
There's
was the
deeper
pilot.
episodes in the Full House than this, man.
The
Wasn't there an
deepest
episode of Full House where like one of her friends was getting abused.
Yeah, there's an episode where
Stephanie, no, not Stephanie.
DJ gets addicted to not caffeine
No,
pills.
that
but
is Saved by the Bell.
She starts exercising a ton and doesn't eat any food, and she almost passed out. She has anorexia for an episode.
Oh.
There's the episode where DJ drives the car, or Stephanie drives the car through the house as well.
Oh, how do you remember all these?
Dude, man, we watched a lot of Full
Oh,
House.
I did too, but I don't remember.
You don't remember that episode?
No.
Yeah. Stephanie had the bully friend, the jerky. I can't remember
yeah,
what her name was.
Stephanie was the middle one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and DJ.
DJ was the oldest with Kimmy Gibbler, and then you had freaking Michelle. All right,
You got it, dude.
let's go to review. Let's go to ratings.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. Naked Now.
6.9.
All right.
No. 3.
3.
3.5. What'd I give it Encounter at Farpoint?
I give
4.
it.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. I was like, okay,
Crap.
I gave Encounter at Farpoint a 3.5, didn't I? I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is worse.
Okay.
I gave Encounter 4.4. The Code of Honor.
1.
1.5.
1.
This is one of the worst things we've watched.
This is easily one of the worst things we've watched. It's so bad. It's so bad. This is probably worse than any episode of DS9 or Battlestar.
Where's that boxing episode?
This is worse.
This is worse.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
I
totally
was
kidding.
At least the boxing episode said something, right? Like there was the good speech by Adama at the end about getting too soft on his crew.
Yeah, he needs to get hard. This was bad. It's very bad TV.
How hard would Adama get in the first episode on his crew?
The first of this?
Yeah,
If he
naked
was
now.
if
If
he
he's
was,
naked now, how hard would he get on his crew? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
there were some very talented Frozen people.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, there were. Yeah. Were they real Frozen? You think they were like models?
No, because when that one lady fell out of the thing, you could see her
her move.
like move.
Yeah.
Like she jiggled a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
like, she's not really frozen. This is bullshit.
What a bunch of crap.
I like how the Frozen makeup rubbed off on Geordi. It's like that would have melted.
I know.
It was like
I was watching his footprints when he walked through. He didn't leave a single footprint in the ice. I'm like,
Such
this
bad
is
production.
awful.
It's such it does get
Although that
better.
is very 80s where the details weren't there.
Yeah, they weren't. Because it was standard definition. You could hide a lot.
Oh yeah, still, the standard def really helped.
All right. So next week we have 2 episodes to review, The Last Outpost and Where No One Has Gone Before. Next week we get to see the introduction of the big bad villain for the Next Generation.
That was supposed to be huge.
Oh,
Supposed to be a huge.
Supposed to
big
replace the Klingons. The first episode next week. You'll get to see it. I'm not.
Excellent.
we can tell you who the villain is.
No, we know.
no, don't.
No, we've already built it up. We're
But
good.
they built it up. They spent a lot of time getting ready for this.
Encounter in Farpoint, they say that's the next person you can eat that they can
did.
eat. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So the big bad villain gets introduced for the entirety of the series. Gets introduced in episode 4.
Okay. Well, we're already 3 episodes in, and I miss Q. So
Q, they're guilty. Just kill them all. You guys, this is bad.
But we prepped for this. You guys said both said season 1 and 2 are going to be rough.
Yeah.
But I forgot how rough it really was at first.
I really think
as
it
rough
has
as your
some-
mother likes it.
It does get
Rough.
better in the first season. It gets better the second season. I don't remember.
I think it's all in Frakes'.
Polanski's
It's
the
in
worst.
Frakes' beard.
I don't think Pulaski.
The powers of the beard.
Yeah.
I don't think Pulaski is that bad.
You're an idiot.
We'll see in season 2.
Yes.
Ooh,
We'll
that
let
does track.
We'll let Joe.
That does
we'll let
track.
Joe decide.
Yeah, we'll let.
He's the deciding factor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that ends our reviews of Star Trek.
Thank
and,
God.
We're wrapping up here, but
Thank you.
you know, before we wrap up, you got to sign up for our Patreon. You do.
Do
You do.
it.
We have a $2 and $5 tier. We got shirts going out in the mail here soon. I'm not going to say when. Rob's repping it right now. He's rocking the shirt. They're coming out. And we need you. We want you. We want you to want me. We need you to need me.
And honestly, it's only $2, $5.
$2, $5. So sign up for that. But also give us a phone call. Talk with us about these episodes. Talk with us about specifically, we're curious what your take is on Code of Honor. Is this an episode that deserves to be banned or not? Call us in 734-494-0980.
Banned?
Yeah, it's been
Banned?
on syndication. It's not on syndication.
Banned?
But like they don't. It's not aired.
You know,
That's
they
what I
don't.
mean.
They rarely air. There's an episode of Seinfeld they rarely air. It's the penultimate episode, the Puerto Rican Day.
Yep.
Because it was
'Cause
deemed
yeah.
too insensitive.
And it wasn't even about that.
It wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't even that bad.
Although they did burn the Puerto Rican flag.
Yeah, there's a little problem.
That is a bummer.
Yeah. So call in 734-494-0980. Leave us a message. Leave us a voicemail. We'll read it on the air. Also, you can subscribe to our...
Speaking of reading things on the air, did we have some listener feedback? Did we get a text?
we got a text from Samira, which just reminded me that if I sent her the shirt in the extra large size, she'd basically have to make it into a dress, which is totally understandable. So I might order some more.
Yeah.
I'll order some more. They
You
weren't.
should send her one with a skinny belt. You know those skinny belts?
yeah,
You can put it around
yeah.
her waist and it can be like it's
Well-
a fancy dress.
How about we ask for her size?
She gave us her
Okay,
size on
all
there.
right.
Yeah, so yeah, she did. So Samira, I asked through the patron messages, and maybe that's why you didn't see it. That's okay. Not a big
So
deal.
now all our listeners have learned you can actually just talk to us on the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can just have conversations with us. Tell us what size shirt you wear.
yeah, just randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your NC?
If you're listening to us, just send us a text and tell us what size shirt you are.
yeah, tell us about your last bowel movement. I don't care. Just talk.
How regular you are.
Yeah, exactly. Twice since I started this podcast.
I can
actu-
smell it.
Yeah, thanks.
I can't remember the last time I pooped.
Why are we doing this?
Yesterday morning.
We got some laxatives over there if you want one.
It was it was yesterday.
Yesterday morning.
It was I did yesterday.
Jesus.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Rob, we keep it regular on this show, bud.
And apparently way too honest.
Instagram, keeping_up_Cardassians. Rob is very active on there. X, which is Twitter, at Cardassians Pod.
It'll always be Twitter in my heart.
Joe is active on there as well. So feel free to interact with us. We love you guys. Thanks for following along with us on this Star Trek Next Generation review. It's been great keeping up with you. Bye.